My girlfriend put herself 6 feet under after we broke up, but now her family is blaming me and spreading lies about how I encouraged her behavior, alongside pictures of me online, and I have no idea what I can do. My girlfriend recently just took her life. This is by far the most devastating and traumatizing event I have experienced in my entire life. I've spent 5 weeks total in the hospital after 2 failed attempts. My girlfriend was very physically and emotionally abusive. She has strangled, struck, and tried stabbing me many times. Whenever I would try to end the relationship, she would threaten to take her life and mine as well. I've called the police on her and contacted her family, in which she would just say she was kidding. She would later threaten me and have me not contact her family and police again because if I did, she would do something terrible. Anyways, her family has recently began posting my picture and information online. They have also created a narrative that I encouraged her to take her life and that I'm now hiding and fleeing from the police, which none of that is true. What can I honestly do in this situation? Commenter. Seems like they're openly spreading lies about you. Pretty sure that's illegal. You could call the police and explore your options, I'd say. Commenter 2. What they're doing is illegal. It's slander and they can actually be prosecuted for it. I would speak to a lawyer or go online and see what legal action you can take against them. Also, your partner was clearly extremely abusive. Nobody has to stay with anyone if they're unhappy with anyway, but certainly not when that person is abusing them. You had every right to end things. Nobody should have to risk their life every day by remaining with a violent, volatile person because they threaten them. That's manipulation. She made a choice and it's sad that she didn't seek the help she so clearly needed. But that was her decision, not yours. I really hope you can get the help you need to navigate this. Good luck. Update. Hello, everyone. Nearly 2 years ago, my girlfriend tragically took her own life. It remains one of the most devastating, life-altering experiences I have ever endured. The pain and trauma from that event have rippled through every corner of my life, reshaping how I see myself, relationships, and the future. I'm just 23, but this experience has aged me far beyond my years. The emotional toll and the weight of everything I've been through have left their mark, inside and out. When I first shared parts of this story, I was overwhelmed, drowning in raw emotion, confusion, and chaos that clouded my ability to fully articulate what I was living through. It was rushed and incomplete. Now, with time, distance, and healing, I want to share a more honest and comprehensive account, not just to tell my truth, but to shed light on the complex reality of abusive relationships and grief. Our relationship was deeply complicated, painful, and at times frightening. She was physically and emotionally abusive toward me, behaviors that left scars I carry to this day. The abuse was often unpredictable, and I lived with threats and fear that made leaving feel nearly impossible. It's difficult to explain how emotional guilt and hope intertwine, how I clung to the memories of the good moments and believed, against evidence, that change was possible. But those signs, in hindsight, were warnings I wish I had recognized and acted on sooner. Throughout our time together, I reached out for help multiple times, calling the police, involving her family, in a desperate attempt to find safety and support. After her passing, her family attempted to pursue charges against me. However, after a thorough investigation, the police found no grounds for any legal action. The lead detective personally assured me that I had done nothing wrong and that there was no evidence to implicate me in any way. I fully cooperated with the authorities from the beginning. Despite these official findings, her family began spreading harmful and entirely false claims, including that I was fleeing from the police and on the run. This was a complete fabrication. I was never evading law enforcement. I remained present, accountable, and compliant through every step of the investigation. To protect myself and ensure the truth was represented, I hired a highly respected lawyer, someone with a strong legal reputation who has also served in Congress. Their guidance and advocacy helped me navigate the wave of public misinformation and personal attacks that followed. While the harassment has diminished over time, some of the false narratives still linger, continuing to cause pain. Since then, I've faced my own battles, most significantly, an attempt that led to a 5-week hospital stay, followed by time in a psychiatric facility. It was one of the darkest and most vulnerable periods of my life. Recovery has been a long, slow process, often painful and exhausting. I now work full-time to manage the weight of mounting medical bills and rebuild some sense of stability. I plan to return to college in the fall of 2026, a step that represents both healing and hope for the future. Through it all, the unwavering support of my friends and family has been a lifeline, reminding me that I am not alone and that it's okay to ask for help. Healing is not linear. Some days are brighter than others, and I'm learning every day to be patient and gentle with myself as I rebuild my life from the fragments left behind. Loving someone who hurts you is confusing and painful. Holding on to the hope of who they could be, while facing the harsh reality of who they are, kept me trapped far longer than I ever imagined. That internal conflict is something I still wrestle with. I share this update to raise awareness about the brutal realities of abusive relationships. Leaving isn't a simple decision. Emotional guilt, fear, and hope can create invisible chains that keep people trapped. If you or someone you know is in this situation, please know you are not alone, and help is available. Please also remember, it is never the answer. No relationship, no matter how difficult, should end with loss of life. A healthy relationship requires emotional wellness. Your life is precious and worth fighting for. She wasn't a bad person. She was someone deeply struggling with pain and trauma of her own, a pain she couldn't, or wouldn't, face with help. That painful complexity shapes how I remember her, and I carry that with both sorrow and compassion every day. I loved her, and I still do. Forever and always. No matter how difficult things became, she'll always be number one in my heart. She will hold a special place there until the very day I die. If you're reading this and feel alone, overwhelmed, or stuck, please reach out. Talk to a trusted friend, family member, or professional. You don't have to carry this burden in silence. I hope by sharing my story, I can help others approach situations like this with empathy rather than judgment. We rarely see the full story behind someone's pain. I also kindly ask for respect and privacy as I continue to heal. This path is difficult, and compassion from others means more than criticism ever could. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health or abuse, please consider connecting with a counselor, helpline, or support group. There is help available, and you are not alone. I'm open to answering questions or having honest conversations, whether in the comments or through direct message. If you're going through something or just need someone to listen, I'm here. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to everyone who has offered kindness, support, or simply taken the time to read this. Your compassion means more than words can say.